Now we're about to have the moon entering Virgo. The moon is in Leo right now. So shit that you was paying attention to, shit that you was giving attention to, shit that you was setting the stage for, will basically be going right into Virgo, which can pretty much, one, went from hobbies, then two, with the routines and work ethics. Now, if you plant the bad seeds, you're gonna be placed into situations of worrying about things and communicating about these things, which is gonna bring the square. Now, square moons is representations of how bad do you want it. Are you really into this shit? Are you just capping, or are you really about your flapping? Feel me? Because you can cap, but are you really flapping? Are you flapping? Or are you capping? Because with the square moons, it's basically bringing a learning aspect, which you got to learn about your actions and your reactions to things. Feel me? That means that the seed is, you starting to see your seeds starting to pretty much grow a little bit, or grow a lot during this time. Now, I ain't get to fulfillment. Feel me? So you gotta be learning about the seeds that you're planting right now. Feel me? You need to learn what you're taking with you, and you need to learn what you're leaving at the door. Feel me? Remember, Virgo is all about clean. Virgo is all worried about the analytical perspectives, the precisions, the details. Devil in the details. Feel me? So you get you a magnifying glasses, and you need to magnify things and areas that you need to clean up during this time with the moon entering Virgo. See, with the moon entering Virgo, you could be basically worrying about the wrong shit, which versus you could be worrying about the right shit. So if you're worrying about the wrong shit, you're planting bad seeds, and of course you need to hurry up and play catch up before the moon gets into Virgo, which means before you go to sleep, you need to be in the right states, the right mental state, the right emotional state, which means your mentality should be empty. Your emotions should be charged up during that time. Because when you sleep, the moon's already making its way there. So when you wake up, the state of being you was in when you were sleeping is going to be the state of being throughout your day, throughout your representations, and of course what you're paying attention to, and of course the energy that you're giving charge to. Now, if you're worrying about the right shit, then you're planting the right seeds, and you ain't pretty much got to worry too much on this time. But Virgo is the Earth house. So this is the representations where you need to place yourself into situations of going ahead and starting to be organized, going ahead and start keeping a list, going ahead and start being in the energies of perfection, where you got to play out those perfection energies. Because this is what it's always worrying about. It's always worrying about being on time, worrying about health, cleaning, detoxing. You probably may have to spiritually detox during this time. Wherever you got Virgo at, it's going to be the house where you need to be organized, the house where you want things to be perfect, or make it look perfect. I mean, picture perfect, or Kodak, picture perfect. Pretty much Snapchatting areas where you want to basically move things around, switch things up, clean things, make things neat, make things more aligned, make things match up perfectly. Feel me? You want to have the right perceptions. You want to basically be putting yourself into things that make sense. That's things that's going to actually be organized. That we can about to break this down. Virgo in the first house, the moon is going to be conjuncting you. So your personal appearance, your personal clothes, your nails, how you look, you're going to be worrying about these things, good or bad. Or you're going to attract the opposite, which is Neptune and Pisces. Now, Neptune and Pisces is going to be your seventh house, your relationships. So if you can blend your personality and your relationships with personal dreams and illusions and fantasies, you're going to be planting the right seeds during this time, which is going to basically help your personal life and, of course, the personal things that you relate with. Also, making sure your personal life get on point. Now, your personal is going to be your spiritual, your spirit. So this is your spiritual houses and, of course, your spiritual spaces. Now, if you plant the right seeds, now with the moon getting into Libra, you're going to have the right shit going in your favor when it comes to your second house, your material, your money, and the things that you pretty much conquer. Now, if you got this in your second house, you're going to be placed into situations of worrying about the wrong things or right things when it comes to your material, your resources. You'll be very, you're going to be pretty much on a budget. You're pretty much on a budget. You're going to be placed into situations of valuing your money or worrying about these things or worrying about building a foundation when it comes to things of money, things of security, things of foundations, things of goals, things of businesses. It's pretty much a Leo ascendant, so you're going to have the gifts to worry about these things, good or bad. Now, what's going to basically help you is going to be Neptune and your 8th house, which is you can bring some deep dreams, deep illusions that can pretty much go along with this moon and Virgo in your second house to build your stability, to build how you gain money, how you gain safety, and how you gain all the resources and how your seeds of your plants can start growing. If you got this in your 3rd house, you're going to be worrying about your friends, your environment, your surroundings and shit like that. And you're going to be placed into situations of going through some conflicts of dealing with the environment, your siblings, neighbors and shit like that. So, I mean, you're going to be worrying about these individuals, your neighbors, your friends, or you're going to be tracking this within your space. Now, if you use Neptune in your ninth house to basically look at the bigger picture and expand your environment and your experiences on a bigger perspective, which you may not want to live in your environment. You may hate being in this environment, but you can utilize these energies to get you up out of that environment as soon as possible. Now, when we're talking about the fourth house, you got Virgo in your fourth house. You're going to be worrying about having a clean house, worrying about making sure everybody in your house clean, or you're going to pretty much you probably was pretty much the maid in your house, or you probably is the maid in your house. Now, what's going to basically help you is your Neptune is being in your 10th house. Every time you in that house, every time you got to clean a dish, every time you got to pretty much clean up for somebody else, you would make sure that is going to predicated towards you either one, getting a house, your own house, or getting your own business. That's how you're going to utilize that retrograde spell to get you from point A to point B. Fifth house. If you got to see your fifth house, your creativity, your talents, your gifts, your expressions. I mean, you're going to be worrying about these things, good or bad. Now, what's going to help you is pretty much your 11th house, your groups, your associations. Virgo in the 6th house, you're going to be very aggressive, very passionate towards your work, your health, your details, your coworkers, or individuals that's dealing with your workspace. Now, what's going to help you in this circumstance situation is Neptune and your 12th house, which is your dreams, your fantasies, and illusions and imaginations. That's going to kind of like be opposing the moon during this time. Now, what's going to basically help you is using your job to make your dreams come true, or using your dreams to make everything that you got going on within your work ethic to make shit go in your favor, which means you got to utilize both planets, which is the moon and Neptune. Now, Neptune is going to exhaust the moon by default, of being that Virgo here is going to bring oppositions and obstacles. Use those oppositions and obstacles to get you from point A to point B. You got to go through obstacles to get from point A to point B by default. Now, you got Virgo in your 7th house. Feel me? This is dealing with relationships, relatability, and things of that perspective. Or you're going to be worrying about your relationships and relatability during this time. Or you're going to be placed in situations of wanting the right relationship. Now, you're going to have Neptune in your 1st house, which is going to be the oppositions. So, if you can use your personality and get your personal self right and look in the mirror, your relationships and how you relate, you basically attract what you need. If you love yourself, you're going to attract what you need when it comes to your 7th house. That's how it's going to play out. 8th house. If you're going to be placed yourself in situations of worrying deeply about your desires, your orgasms, or making your other partner orgasm. Now, what's going to help you in this area is Neptune and Pisces in your 2nd house. If you value your dreams, be patient with it, put time into that imagination illusion, you can bring that to reality, aka your 8th house, your desires, your deep intentions, your passions, your motivations, or you want to be a psychologist, or you want to operate on people. That's going to basically come true if you put time and patience towards Neptune in your 2nd house. Moon and Virgo in your 9th house, you'll be placed into situations of worrying about your wisdom, your knowledge, your spirituality, and of course your illusions of these things. Now, what's going to also help you is Neptune being in your 3rd house. Use your environment, your surroundings, and things that's there, or your community, to help bring your experiences to come true. Whether you can utilize a magic wand and stuff like that, because the moon is in Virgo, so it's dealing with earth basics and shit. So get you a wand and get you something that can cater towards that. Now, if you got this in your 10th house, you'll be worrying about your status, your career, your business, your goals, and responsibilities. Now, you're going to have Neptune in the 4th house. It's exalted here. So you could use your home, you could use your imagination, dealing with home and family, and bring that towards your status, career. Your home and family can get you to the next point. Or by you planting the right seeds in your home, this can pretty much help you get from point A to point B. Now, if you got this in your 11th house, you'll be placed in a circumstance situation of planting seeds towards your associations, groups, acquaintances, and networking. Now, if you're going to have Neptune and Pisces, and last but not motherfucking least, if you got the moon and Virgo in your 12th house, see, the moon don't really like this house. It don't like being in this house at all. But it got to do what it got to do to basically get the job done. But actually, Mercury, I'm bugging. If you got Virgo in your 12th house, for me, this places a situation to deal with obstacles on a day-to-day basis. Now, you're going to be placed into situations of having dreams about being perfect or being imperfect. Or you're going to be manifesting dreams of perfection or imperfection during this time, depending on what's been in your subconscious, what you've been subconsciously reacting and responding to. Now, by default, you are Libra ascendant, so you may basically have exhausting dreams. Good dreams, good nightmares. Or you can basically place yourself in situations of creating the environment to basically make these dreams come true. Now it's up to you to utilize your Neptune in your 6th house. Feel me? That's dealing with your health. That's dealing with your eating. That's dealing with exercise. That's dealing with sweat, blood, tears. That's dealing with all that energy in one combination. So if you could be, now you're gonna be placing situations that are dealing with the 180. So by default, I mean you're always going through obstacles on a day-to-day basis. But if you could better equip your Neptune in your 6th house, which is dreams, fantasies, illusions, and being mutable, adaptable, changeable, versatile with your dreams, imaginations, and coming up with many concepts of utilizing that on a day-to-day basis, which is every day, which is a routine to make these dreams come true. If you can plant that seed in Virgo in your 12th house, you're going to be in the right situations of sleeping good, feeling good at night. And you're going to be placed in situations of being able to have your spiritual system going and flowing like the weather. So that's going to pretty much help you out when the moon gets into Virgo. So you need to be reacting and responding towards dreams, imaginations, fantasies, or taking time or having some peace within yourself when it comes to these energies on these day-to-day perspectives, because this is what's going to pretty much cater towards the space that you need to be in. Now, when the moon gets in Virgo, you basically need to you can also, what's going to basically help you in this area too is your dreams, when you go to sleep, when you imagine, when you daydream, or when you ponder. Feel me? That's going to pretty much help you out with this energy. So you can utilize sleeping as a ritual spell. Every time you lay your head on that pillow, every time you get in that bed, that's going to pretty much place you into situations of helping your dreams come true. Because when the moon get into Pisces, where it's going to be waning at, you're going to start to be experiencing pieces and bits by bits of them dreams that you basically been planting on. Feel me? But you got to plant that seed, though. Feel me? You got to be in the right space, the right location, in the right environment, peaceful environment, where you can be able to have peace within yourself to go ahead and make those dreams come true. That's how you can pretty much utilize the moon and Virgo energies.